I mean, we'll take it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fan cams, the round 4 fan cams. After the Blues, let's be honest, the pinched one. 10 goals, 13, 73 to 9 goals, 9, 63. The Adelaide Oval hoodoo is dead. We beat the Dockers, who were unbelievably good in a tough contest. We did it the hardest way possible. We made it harder for ourselves. And listen, 4-0, you got to bank him where you can. Unbelievable. Daylight robbery at Adelaide Oval. If you'd like to join the fan cams, I'm going to put the link in shortly. I've got a few guests here. Don't worry, we've started early, so everyone will get a shot. Like I said last week, would love to see some fresh faces. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of interesting reactions to that. But jump on, share your thoughts, and let's get into it. Hey, mate.
Don't know what everyone was worried about. I was eating apples in the fourth quarter with Little Pom.
Whew.
Hey, tell you what, that was fun, eh? That's what we live for.
That is living. Yep, that is living. We have been on the end of them in our experience, no doubt. And we pinch one. Just grinded it out, you know.
You know what? And we're all about narrative here at football. You know what I mean? Here at Blue Abroad. I mean, quality as well. The Blues left it to the last 2 minutes to get dodgy free kicks. So can't wait to hear about that. It's a shame there isn't a free kick ladder, is there? There's just a point ladder. And I mean, you know what? Credit to Fremantle. Said it in my preview. They're incredibly good at stifling you, slowing the game down on their terms. And we found it tough, man. And I think, you know what? A lot of them teams, you know what? A lot of the teams they'll play, they've struggled against that. And you know what? They took away what was left of our clearance game, what was left of our stoppage game. But at the end of the day, character wins. Yeah. And you know what? Their heads didn't drop. And as Dee says, when they kicked that goal, I was still confident, man. These boys are built different, and you've got to win them games. And you know what? Important milestone, because I could see the narrative being written in our own fan base when they kicked that goal. You know, 11 years, it keeps happening, rah, all that rubbish. Are we pretenders? Boys keep winning. Do you know what I mean? The boys keep winning. Fair play to them. We move on to Adelaide now, and that's all that matters.
Much. Yeah, I mean, we take the 4 points, and lots to improve on with our midfield and our stoppages there, I think. I mean, you got to credit Fremantle today, but yeah, I'd much rather be moving on with a win than a loss, mate. Pinched it in the end. Cottrell, unbelievable.
Big moment. Yeah. And you know what? This team now is full of moments players. It's full of moments players who will take them opportunities, and fair play to them. It was great to see Bam Bam kick his goal as well. I thought he worked tirelessly throughout as well. Got the goal from Descent. I did enjoy James Aish giving one for Descent as well. It's always nice to see a guy wearing a glove give it the big one.
Who actually gave that second
James
goal
Aish.
away? Okay.
He was incredulous, I believe is the term. I enjoyed live chat because I didn't see Fremantle fans in the chat at all towards the end. Everyone was saying, "Oh, it's touched. Oh, was the little ball touched? Was it? Oh, all I know is 4 points comes back." Tell you what, big shout out to James as well. He was great company. We had a lot of fun. And to be fair, I'm taking this win for myself. I'm owed it after United's shambolic last 5 minutes. I am owed. I am owed it on the reverse.
Yeah, fair enough. So, by the way, that is 16 wins from 18 games that we have experienced. To be honest, pretty speechless. Yeah, pretty speechless. What can we take away? And what's that?
I just want the Carlton fans to come together just for 1 week. So, like this week, do me a favour, because I'm getting old. I'm getting tired. I'll be honest, my kids are getting older, so they're becoming more annoying. My patience wears thin on a day-to-day basis, right? Let's just spend this week just enjoying it, yeah? Just enjoy it, man. Like, when the injury report comes out, leave your QAnon stuff to Reddit deep forums, right? Just enjoy it, man. 16 wins out of 18, Uncle Terry's told you. Do you remember when we won 2 out of 18 games? You remember that? That was a bit shit, wasn't it? And you know what? The boys, fair play to them. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't sexy. Is it one of it? Am I looking forward to watching this pre-review? No, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather spend the afternoon with my mother-in-law. But you know what I do enjoy? Winning. You know what? It doesn't get boring, does it? Doesn't get boring. We've got Adelaide next week, who are going to be a tough task because they're going to be battered in pillar to post. And you know what? Fair play to the boys. It wasn't good, but you know what? Fremantle play a style of football that isn't going to make you play sexy football, right? And we were resourceful. That's what I learned. We're resourceful. And I said it at halftime with James. If we just stay in it, we've got the legs to win this game, right? And ultimately, we did. And it's funny. Fans were saying Collingwood couldn't win a flag by winning tight games. Ask them if you can't win a flag winning tight games. Ask them.
Yep. I don't think we'll be memorizing this game too much in 10 weeks from now. I think when the season's done, we'll just let this one slide. But also, you got to spare a thought for us and our ability to just keep the belief. They stayed cool, calm, and collected, kept their smiles up. They looked confident. Obviously, could have gone the other way, and the narrative could have been shifted to they got overconfident. But they believe in each other. They believe Jonathan Delato perfectly said here, unbelievable spirit. Because you got to find a way to win when it's not on your terms. And that's what happened today.
Good teams do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Good teams do, man. Like that's what people forget. Good teams win.
Yeah.
Good teams win. And you know what? It wasn't a great game. Like, I'm not going to watch that game back. I am not going to get up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m, put that game on to do the review and be like, oh, can't wait. Woohoo! 2 hours of this. Woo! Yeah, player. Right? But I'm going to, you know what? You got to take it its merit. And that is character. That's character. That's something this club we have been in fan cams a lot and said, when's it going to end, Terry? To Terry, yep. When's it going to end? And all of them boys, their heads didn't dip. And you know what? Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes. And fair play to the boys. You know what? Shout out to Fremantle, though. Like, that game style, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to watch Fremantle games all year. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to. I'm going to actively avoid them, right? It's going to be like the guy coughing during 2022 in Woolworths. I'm going to avoid him, just to give him a wide berth, right? But fair play. You've nailed down a game style that it's hard, man. Like the way there was that passage of play at the first 10 minutes of the first, and you guys look to take off, but no one gets ahead of the ball carrier. You stay in a unit. And me and James were saying it's going to be fucking hard yakka today, boys. And it was hard yakka. But ultimately, they win. And the narrative changes. Like, if we lose that, all the hard work would have gone. People would have started jumping off. You know what? Adelaide next week. So I'm looking forward to, if you can just give me 24 hours before all of you start DMing me and commenting on my posts. Oh, Adelaide lost this week. They're going to be angry. Just give me 24 hours just to enjoy this. And we'll Adelaide probably about Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, mate, thank you for the watch along, and we'll see you in the ratings, mate. That'll be an interesting rating show, no doubt.
Mate, hey, rating schmatings. 4 fucking points, baby. 4 points. That's all I care about. I deal in points.
Good stuff. Thanks, Pommy.
Peace.
See ya. All right. So I've got about 8 spots in the waiting room. I'm going to put the link in the live chat. If you miss out this round, I'll put it in the chat later on. Once it fills up, it fills up. First one to click it gets into the waiting room. I've got a guy here all the way from Vegas, I'm pretty sure. Let's get him in. Mate.
There's
Viva Las Vegas, mate. Let's talk.
I tell you, I'm actually not in Vegas at the minute. I'm even further across. I'm in Dallas, actually. I'm in Dallas this weekend. The family have come over, quite nice, and we're all watching it. It's 3 a.m. here, but man, did we perhaps get away with the one? But that's how it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we put the fear in teams, and they were up for it. The Dockers. It's what you want. You want to win. You want to show that you can win in multiple ways. I think today we did that.
Yeah, it was tough. It sort of reminds me of the St Kilda game last year. Like, that was a real sort of gritty win. And I was saying to Dad and my brother at 3/4 time, it was a similar case to the Richmond game where we were looking a bit out of it. We didn't look up to scratch, and our mids were getting smashed. I think the clearance count ended maybe -15, -20 our way, but they found a way in that last quarter. I don't know what changed. I think 5 goals we kicked, Jazz. Huh? 5 goals last quarter. Yeah, 5 goals or something in the last quarter.
Well, Carroll misses the inside-out banana with 6 goals, 12 at that point. I think it might have even gotten to 7-13 at one point. And
we finished 10-13. I'm just trying to find it now. Yeah, behind Jack Carroll at the 13-minute mark. And that was a goal in it at that point. And we were sort of just getting beaten in all the one-on-ones, the 50-50s. They were not falling our way all game. But Cripper, he stood up in that last 10 minutes. I thought he just threw his body at it like there was no tomorrow. He was awesome. And then obviously Chugger and Cotters in the dying moments. I don't know what Cotters was doing there, but thank God he was. But man, that was wild.
There was a lot made of the ruck battle before the game, Jackson and TDK. What did you make of that?
I was very impressed with Tom. Jackson certainly got the upper hand early. I thought it was going to be maybe quite a long night for Tom, but no, he held his own. Certainly in the second half, he probably even beat him pretty comprehensively. I don't know what he ended up with, but he was fantastic. I thought that was one area of the, as I mentioned, he was getting beaten. I thought it was going to be pretty tough, and obviously I think he won the hit out battle, but still lost the clearances. But that'll happen. That's a area to improve on, and if you can win poorly, you'll win a lot of games.
Absolutely. All right. Well, round 5 next week in Melbourne.
Yes.
What's the thoughts going into that?
Oh, I mean, what Adelaide 0-4. We're 4-0. We've got to put them away and get some good percentage. I mean, I think Adelaide are a better side than 0-4, but the reality is they are 0-4, and just get to 5-0, get some percentage, and on to the next.
Absolutely. Well, mate, thanks for calling in all the way from Dallas, Texas, 3 a.m.
Dallas, Texas.
We will speak to you next week.
Take care.
All right. Cripsy.
Oh, yeah. Have you got me? Hello? Is this thing on?
This thing is on, mate.
How you doing, mate? You all
right? I feel like we are undefeated for the first time since 1995. That's how I feel.
4-0. Yes. Yes. Okay. Taking all of that in, I don't think that we got away with one. I actually think we should have been further ahead. I think we exclude the last quarter. We had some great chances, I think, in the second quarter to kind of be in and around, and if not in front. I think we should have been in front, which I think changes the game in the second half. I look at, I think you were just talking about it, ruck battles from all the way from Vegas. I know he's not in Vegas, but talking about ruck battles, I thought Jackson could have blown it apart. I actually think he could have. I think TDK, stepped up, but also think we just didn't let him. I think some of the
Yep.
boys just realised we can't let him get near it. And yeah, there was a few big moments. I think Kempy, I feel for Kempy. He's grabbed the ball in, full knowing if he brings this thing in, it's ball. But I also think he was terrified of letting it go out. I think it was going to be a bad outcome either way, but it just looks awful. And I think we're really fortunate that right now we don't know what our best forward mix is.
Yeah.
So we're trialing what that is round 4, round 5. I think Owies should be in the 6. But it just seems like we're throwing magnets around there to figure out what the go is at the moment. I think.
Right.
I'm just thinking as well. One more. Sorry.
No, please go for it.
Not sure. Love Ollie, but not sure how he's fitting in at the moment. I think there was some conversation last week, and I thought, gee, all right. This week he was in and around, just getting up and down in the field, but no impact in which I thought he would have had last year. I think it felt like last year he would have been running off people all game, and that might be the Freo ways, just one-on-one all over the park, make it super hard to move the footy. But I just didn't see Ollie have the impact that I would expect. However, he's young. Until he says I need a break, just play him. What more can you ask for from the kid? I guess in the end, Elijah obviously with the injury. So who comes in? How does that balance? Do we make much of a change? It doesn't feel like we need to, but maybe. Yeah. Just any thoughts on any of those comments, big man?
Oh, I have another question for you because we've had, I think, 3 or 4 people in so far. Can we talk about Jacob Wiedering just for one moment? Just for one moment. Can we talk about Jacob Wiedering?
Yes.
And probably our defense in general, because they won the midfield battle, I would say, the Dockers, but they weren't able to punish us. And I think you give credit to our defense and then the leader of that defensive mechanism, Jacob Wiedering. I thought I think he was our best player on the day.
It wouldn't be far off it if I probably can't think of it. I mean, Cripper was enormous in that last. I mean, he probably was our best. He might have been one of the best all day. I think Brayshaw touted up in the end, but I reckon the boys feel 5% lighter knowing that when the ball comes in high, there's this massive bloke just ready to either body and win it or just kill it. One or the other, and they must feel like, wow, we're gonna hold on a little bit more here than we normally can when this man is in the zone. He's massive, and I think over the years we've been trying to figure out, like, yes, he's a lockdown. How he is an interceptor when we give him that, but I think he's just lockdown. He just totally nullifies the opponent and wins the ball off halfback so many times. Massive. I mean, how's he not all Australian? That's the questions that we all ask ourselves. How's he not getting those plaudits? Weed is massive. Yeah, absolutely massive.
Well, mate, looks like we're going to try and continue this streak and and go 5 and zip.
Can I clarify? Are we at Marvel? Is that where we're at?
We are at Marvel for the next 2 Saturdays in a row at the same time, 4:35.
Oh, so do we like the mid-afternoons? Just curiosity.
Love the mid-afternoons because the fan camp start earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm selfish because like the fan camp start earlier and then we can get a lot more people on because we sit here for literally 2.5 hours and it's not 2 a.m. when we finish. But
I'll give a little thought here. I mentioned it at the very beginning. If we had have lost that game, we would have said we missed our chances.
Yeah,
we won that game. Sure, we won that game in a way that is very like you don't want to win games or you don't expect to win games in the way that we did. But if we lose that, we go, man, we had chances. We actually probably should have won that game. So it's nice to have the ones that fall our way because sometimes it doesn't. Footy doesn't do that sometimes. You don't get that beautiful thing where it just kind of happens for you. And look, to bank, what are we at? 16 points already in the season. Where people are saying, well, we're a top 4 team. Well, let's get there first. What do we need? 16, 17 wins. What does that look like? So, if you put it that way, 12 to go. let's just do it in a row. Let's actually just not lose. I don't know about you. Let's just not lose like the whole year. Like, and if we win by a point every game, so be it. Yeah, I'd love one for you. One more for you, my man. Before I head off, because I know there's a whole crew waiting. Do you think Jack Carroll has cemented his place in the team?
I think if Walsh is playing next week, he might be the unlucky one. Oh, no. Actually, yes, because Elijah looks like he won't play next week.
Okay.
So I think he might just have cemented his spot.
Yeah.
But it's a great question.
I think he
I
has.
think we might, I think we might be talking about him all week.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that he has. However, I don't know his engine. Can it go a season? Does that make sense? Like, I wonder if there'll be periods of time where they say, right, I know he's had a lot of soft tissue injuries, and you can have a great preseason, which is great. It sounds like he has had one, but I'm curious just to see how that goes over the next few weeks and how they manage his load throughout the year.
Well, mate, it's on the agenda. We will talk about it all week. So, hey, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Oh, and also,
yes.
Thank you for this little bad boy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I got my BA right here, baby. Next
tell the people.
Saturday.
Tell the people to get their pins. Link in the chat.
Go and get your pins. Link in the chat. Look, I'm gonna take it. Hang on. You've wrapped this up real nice. How do I access said goods? I must admit, very nice, very schmick. And I'll be wearing that next week. For what time did you say? 4:30? What was it?
4:35. Marvel
4:35.
Stadium.
Marvel Stadium. If you see me, and if I don't have it on, tell Terry. You can rip my head off. He'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Tell me in.
Put it. Drop me in. Exactly. Terry, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you. Up the baggers.
Up the baggers, mate. Ciao. Okay. I've got a member here for 18 months, Wayne Caruthers. Tears of joy. I'll find all the tears, memes, and share. Thanks very much, Wayne. Okay. Who's here? Ed. Oh, hello, mate.
Hey, mate. How you doing?
I don't know how we analyze that one, but we'll try.
No, I don't actually have much. I've realized I just rocked up here and I got nothing to say. But you know what, mate? This team doesn't give up. They just do not give up. When we conceded that last goal, I reckon the belief amongst us as supporters went like, maybe this one's gone. Not one of those 22 or 23 blokes thought that. Straight away, it's back to the center. Hey, you stand here. You stand here. We'll probably need to be more attacking. It makes you so proud to barrack for a team like that. And you know what? In some ways, I'm annoyed that last goal got given to us because that will be the story. But the story should be, how good were we in those last 3 minutes? You know, unbelievable. And they crumbled. And if the shoe was on the other foot, if the roles were reversed, they kicked 6 of their 9 goals from free kicks. So you're not going to hear anything about that. You're not going to hear, but if we had done that, that's all you'd hear about. And if they got a lucky one where it was, I don't know if that was touched or not by Aish, it'd be like, oh, cry me a river, Carlton. That that wasn't touched. But instead, people are just going to talk about us. But do you know what? I don't care, because do you know who deserves to win? The team that's in front when the siren goes, and that was us. And I just couldn't be prouder to be a Carlton person right now. I'm glad, Terry, that you highlighted the back line. Yeah, they were under ferocious pressure all day. I thought Wiedering was probably the best player. If he wasn't best, I thought maybe Sardi was. I thought Sard was just outstanding, and I thought Kemp. I thought Kemp stood up really well. Probably made a few blunders with that pull in at the end, but I just overwhelming sense right now is pride of the team to fight it out, mate. So that's about all I've got. I'll be honest.
I love it, mate. You summarized it perfectly. I would love to sit here for 2 hours and just hear you talk, but I'm sure we'll get that. I would.
The thing we're going to have a look at is, again, beaten in clearances. Hey, like beaten pretty badly, and And the exciting thing is, if we figure that out, who knows? The sky's the limit. But we're getting beaten, so
that's something we're going to have to bring. I mean, you always want to win with lessons, and you almost need to give that midfield. What's missing? Is it just a rocket? Is it just a realignment? Because they're generally all there. Is it Tom DeConing doing more rucking now, and they're just getting used to him playing a full game instead of having Pitto? I don't know what it is.
No, I get the sense that we are setting up in a way which is more assuming we will win the clearance, and we're not winning it, so we just seem a little bit out of position. So do we need to set up more defensively and not try to have these tear away clearances and understand that we just got to, I guess, man up? I don't know. It's one to dissect at length, but clearly some room for improvement there.
Yep, mate. Looking forward to the wash up. We'll speak to you soon.
Yeah. Cheers, Tez. Go Blues.
See you, mate. Okay, let's go. Mini Pom. Mini Pom. Oh, he's grown up.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Mate, real good. How are you?
Oh, good. That was an exciting live with Pommy. First of all, big thanks to him for doing that with me. But it's worth the 5 o'clock wake up.
So, I mean, just remind the audience where you are calling in from.
So about half an hour out of London, down in Kent, if any of you know there. Got up at 5:20, got on the live at 5:40 with Pom, rode through probably the worst 4 quarters of football I've ever seen. And then somehow we scraped it along in the end. I don't think we deserved to win it, but you take it.
Yeah. Well, well, I mean, you're obviously watching it pretty closely. You're on the watch along. What do you take away from that?
Oh, well, first of all, I think the defense was incredible. Like, in the first half, I didn't notice Weetering that much. Then you look at the stats at half time, oh, geez, top disposal getter, most marks, all these intercept possessions, and that is pretty impressive. And I really like the dash of half back from Boyd, Zach, and Sardi, because when we won the game, those inside 50s, most of the match, the inside 50s were sort of nothing balls. We couldn't really do too much with them. They were either getting spoiled or out of bounds. But at the end, they really penetrated the kicks and got some, good penetration on them and found the targets. And that's pretty much where we won the game. And that just wasn't there for the rest of it, because it was clear that Freo wanted to play a high stoppage game, always wanted it out onto the boundary or kept it in for a stoppage. And I think we just weathered that in the end, and we took most of their heat, and we came back at the end and did what we always do.
Well, there's an intangible stat. I don't know if there is an actual number for it, but that belief, spirit, energy factor, I don't know how you quantify it, but we certainly have that.
Who do you think, like, for next week, what do you think the main changes would be, like, if any? Do you think we'll get off with Fogg, I think, for that hit on Fife or not?
I'm hoping they look at it like it's clumsy. I don't think there was a malicious intention behind it. I think he tried to put his arm out to make a play on the ball and spoil. But obviously, you're just dangerous when you're putting your hand out and you got the head-on collision. Thankfully, Fife wasn't concussed.
Yeah. I think he had eyes on the ball and went for the punch. I think he got him around like here area, and I mean the AFL won't like that at all, because obviously you know what they're doing with heads. So I think he will get a week. But the beauty of that, as good as he's been this season, I think we do have the coverage to cover for him. So, I mean, if I had to guess, I reckon they might bring Walsh in for him, and then I think they might put Carroll or Ollie on the bench, I think, if he does get the week. But if not, it'll be interesting to see who Walshy comes in for, because like if say he doesn't get off, who would you take out at the moment?
Well, I think the easy option is to say Elijah, because it looks like he won't play next week with the hip, the groin. I don't know exactly what it was. We'll get some sort of news about it in the next few days. So, and then they did say that if Walsh trains next week, he'll play. So the easy answer I'll take the easy option out here and say Walsh in for Elijah. And then the other one in there, that a name that could be thrown out is Chincotta. So let's just see what happens there.
What, into the D50, right?
Well, he played in the midfield last week. So whether they want to maybe try him as the sub, I don't know. I'm like thinking out loud, to be honest.
Yeah, our VFL team's got quite a lot of players that can come in and slot in pretty well in the group. So like,
Yeah,
it's not a huge worry until August, July, September, where we need everyone fit and firing. Like
yeah.
this is proven. If we can bank wins like this, then as long as you keep getting them on top, finish top 4, then anything's possible in September. So I think it's all about this banking up and giving everyone the games.
Yeah. No, love it, mate. Love your work. Welcome back, and good to see you got to jump on the watch along and win.
I remember start of last year, I was on quite a few fan cams, did a watch along. Then I've got like my big exams this year, like the ATAR equivalents, so I had to stop a bit, but should be back now, joining in, loving all the content. So cheers, mate, and thanks to Pom as well for doing the watch along with me.
I'd love to have you, mate. Good stuff. Go Blues.
Thanks, boys. Go Blues.
All right, there's a group of boys I can see in this waiting room. All right, I don't know what's going on here. So Hunter and Benos, let's go, baby.
Terry, lick the envelopes! Lick the envelopes! Lick the envelope, Terry! Lick the envelope, Terry! Terry, we do have the envelope. Yeah, do you lick it? Terry! Yeah! That's so good.
What's happening, boys?
First of all, how about that last quarter?
Oh, mate, they dug deep, didn't they?
Mate, honestly, I wasn't nervous until about the last 5 minutes, and then I just believed in the boys, and fucking hell. Boyd is a fucking beast. Boyd is so fucking good.
I'm glad you mentioned him. I thought he had 2 or 3 like critical contests in that passage of play.
Yeah, he had the fucking big plays. He was a heavy hitter. He was fucking good. He was very good.
Yeah. Hey, I need a best on. I don't know who it is.
Elijah Holland.
Groin, I think. Groin, adductor, hip, something.
Oh, no. How many weeks do you reckon?
I reckon he definitely doesn't play next week.
No. Is Sammy Welsh coming back next week?
Absolutely.
Yeah! Come on! Terry, I love you, mate. Yeah, Terry, we love you. This envelope, Hayden Caruso. We're good mates with him.
Shout out to Hayden. Lad, what's the plans for tonight? What happens after this?
See, we were going to stay in if Carlton lost, and it was looking that way. We're in the pits. But now they're the back of the one, we're going out! Yeah!
Amazing. Well, stay safe and see you next week. Go Blues.
See you next week, Terry. We love you. We love you.
Amazing. That's incredible. All right. Miller and Daniel. Let's do this. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
I feel like you've grown up a lot since we last spoke. Here he is.
Hello.
The big
How are
dog.
you, mate?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're up and about.
Up and about, mate. Ugly, but who cares? Who cares?
I mean, you gotta win. I don't know. You gotta win what 16, 17 to make top 4, and probably 3 or 4 of them are going to be ugly. You know.
Yeah, exactly right. I saw that we've won 16 out of our last 18.
16 of 18.
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Miller,
she's a very lucky girl, mate.
welcome to the brand new golden era of the Carlton Football Club.
How lucky is she? Like, how lucky is she? Like that she's in this era as opposed to the 5 years and 10 years prior.
Mila, do you know what I had to sit through so you could enjoy this? It wasn't good.
Yeah.
What about you, Mila? What did you think of the game? Who was your favorite player today?
Don't say Charlie. Just anyone but Charlie, yeah. What about the back line? Think of the back line. Like, who's that his favorite player?
Boydie.
That's it.
Boydie. I like it. I like your style, Miller. He was excellent. How good was he? Those few critical contests in the fourth quarter, the fake handball,
smother, and then when he took Walters out of bounds, that was huge.
Yeah,
that was huge.
Yeah.
The Sadi played a game as well. today.
Yeah. The midfield. What's the answer? What's happening?
I got no idea, mate, because we got smashed. I felt like, I don't know what it was. It was like everyone thinks that we're an inside beast, so we've got to go to the contest or something like that. And we've got no one on the outside. But how many times do they have someone on the outside that could have ran off and had free reign to run into? It was it was a bit. It was like watching Port versus Essendon last night, where those three guys just tore into shreds. It was similar, but we just obviously got a bit more class that we can, hold the scoreline a bit better. Luckily,
Yeah.
But it was like, I mean, I think maybe Walshy helps, but I mean, I don't think one person's going to make a massive change. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we're obviously I have this image, Zach Williams weaving through traffic. I mean, that's exactly the type of player that he is for us and what he's going to be for us. So I feel like that part of the game's coming along out of the back half. If we can just rediscover what we saw the last few years in the midfield, then the puzzle's almost complete.
Yeah. A few too many times. Like one of my biggest peeves is what a lot of the young guys is when they don't know when to just hold the ball in. Like I found Carroll did it quite a lot when he's getting tackled and there's like 7 Freo players to 2 Carlton players, and he feels the need to get the ball out.
Yeah.
When it's like, then they just get out and they go run and they're off. Where it's like, a few things like that. There's just a few things I need to clean up, and then I mean, in the end, 16 out of 18, you can't be upset with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, hey, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Anything to say? Anything to say quickly?
Any final thoughts, Miller?
Any final thoughts, like about the game or maybe next week?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Are you going to be there next week, Miller? Are you going to be at the game? Yeah. Are we going to win?
I think we should.
Yeah.
We might go to the banner night hopefully this week.
You should. It's a lot of fun.
I spoke to Nick, and we might join him during the week.
Amazing. Well, have a great night, guys, and enjoy the week. Go Blues.
Enjoy the win, mate. How good is it? Winning on a weekend.
The best.
Best Sunday.
Amazing. All right. See
Thanks,
you
mate.
guys.
See you, mate.
How good. Johnny Holden, the great man.
Hey, Tez, how you doing, buddy?
Good, mate. How are you doing?
Heart's just starting to sort of slow down a little bit and get back in the chest. So, going good. Good game. Very scrappy. I thought we were, I hate to say it, lucky to get away with it in the end. But if that's our bad game and we got away with it, then I'm happy with that. I always say an ugly win is always better than a pretty loss.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how we win as long as we win. And that was an ugly win. So, I'm happy. I think there's room for improvement with everybody, but the season's short, or early, I mean. So there's a lot of room for growth. I tell you what we do miss is Pitto in the ruck. Now, I love TDK, but I think our biggest problem with the inside clearance, Pitto gets first hand on the ball nearly all the time to our advantage, but does not much around the ground, where we're sacrificing TDK in the ruck, who doesn't get first hand on the ball down our throat, but he makes up for it around the ground with everything else he does. So we've robbed Peter to pay Paul, but is it going to be too much? I think he needs to come in next week because Adelaide have got that big body ruckman, and I think he may outmuscle TDK. I think Marchie might come back in because I think Kemp, he gets shown up if the other guy's a little bit bigger. And they've got a couple of tall forwards, Adelaide. Not that I'm worried, but they do have a couple of big guys up forward. Hollins is going to miss. I think Fogg will be fine because he hits him in the chest and slides up. So I think he should be fine. But yeah, I think if Walsh doesn't get up, I'd probably look at Marchie and maybe Pitto, not to replace TDK, but just to sort of help him around the ground with that big body. Because I just think that, is it Riley Bonner or Riley something or other? The Adelaide ruckman.
Big Riley O'Brien.
Riley O'Brien. Well, he's just a big muscle unit, and I think he'll just out muscle and push TDK around too much. But love the game from Sard and Boyd off the halfback. They were just outstanding. Cottrell played well, probably the best game I've seen him play all year.
Yep.
They look
Started
slow in the
getting-
middle.
Yeah, it's just missing.
There's
It's just
something
missing.
just
Well,
off, like this much off. Half a meter turns into a meter within 3 or 4 steps, which then turns into 2 meters within 4 steps, 5 steps. So we're just that little bit slow in the middle. Whether it's reaction or whether it's just foot speed, I'm not 100% sure. But Walsh, when he comes back, he adds that X factor. That you don't get that half a meter gap. He's right up their date. So I think that'll be good. But I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket for Walshy next week. If he comes back, awesome. If not, play him when he's ready.
Yep.
Don't bring him back too quick. Trust. I've got a bad back. I've been not working for 10 years because of it. So I know how it can flare up overnight. If he's even slightly sore, just rest him. Take that extra week, because it doesn't take much for it to go sideways, and he's gone for 6 weeks. Bring him back when he's ready, not when we need him, like we've had to do in the previous coaching era.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point, mate. It's exciting times. We're winning. We're winning ugly. We're
I'm
winning.
just happy for you younger guys. I mean, I've seen it. Like blokes like me, Rocco, and that, we've been there, done that. But to see this happening again, it's the best thing ever. I mean, I got my kids who I see their joy through their eyes by watching them. My wife, who's from Sydney, who's got on board as well. So I see it through her eyes because they haven't experienced none of this like I have and Rocco has. So don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the ride, but it's great to sort of see it through you guys, you, Paulie, Mars, and most of the chat. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great ride. I hope it doesn't end for a while.
I hope it doesn't end for a while, and I hope this is the year. I really do. To have it all
fingers crossed
on record live every week would be cool. So we'll get there.
It is cool. All right, mate. I'll let you go. You got a few people in chat, so I'll talk to you later.
Good on you, Johnny. Cheers, mate.
Take care, buddy.
Speaking of youngins, there's an exciting youngin here, young Zach Borg.
Hey, Terry, how are you?
Mate, I'm great.
Oh, I'm absolutely ecstatic. What a win. Like, honestly, I have a lot to talk about, Terry. I've got a lot to get out.
What do you got for me?
Yeah, well, we just know how to win. We can win in multiple ways. And, they proved that tonight. We just didn't give up. And we showed the determination of like what we are made of. And like, it was really good to see, like, we could finally win at Adelaide Oval. And yeah, that was good. So, how did you see the game, Terry? How did you?
I thought we stuck at it. I thought we were probably beaten in a lot of key areas other than the most important key area, which was the final score. I thought our defense stood up tall. I thought, look, I mean, you can say that we pinched it, we didn't deserve it, but I actually also think Freo weren't able to punish us when they were on top. And that's because our defense was just too good, led with by Jacob Wiedering, who played with a lot more confidence and end of the day, we win the game. The team that wins the game is the one that
wins.
4 points. Correct.
And what's it called? What are we going to do about our midfield problem? Because we got really heavily dominated in there. What do you think the problem is? Do you think it's Walsh? Do you think like Pito can come in to support EDK? What do you think?
I think the magic formula is time. I think the key ingredient is time, and I think it will even out. It probably hasn't started the season as good as what it looked like last year in the midfield, that is. But I think by the end of the season, the midfield will figure it out.
Yeah, and also something I also want to touch on is lots of fans and the media doesn't know that they're going to say, oh, well, like the umpires, like they were shocking, like Freo got robbed, stuff like that. But you can actually kind of see the stupid free kicks like these teams that we have been playing give away. Like
Yes,
last
true.
week, like Nick Larkey, he like TD. I know. Sorry, Mitch McGovern. He tackled him, and then he started to get into him. He gave away the free kick, and it was a 50-meter penalty. But fans and the media does not recognize that, and that's what really annoys me. Have you been like? You see it, Terry, how like the teams give away stupid free kicks, and then Carlton cheated, and like
Do you know what I have to
lucky
say to
get
that,
away
Zach?
with that.
Do you know what my response to that is, Zach?
What's your response?
It's this.
Yeah, 100%.
Let him talk.
One more thing I wanna say is we have some options. I reckon we might want to put Kemp forward, and we can maybe bring in like another like defender like Marchbank. Do you think he isn't maybe like available for next week, or still another week? What do you reckon?
Feel like after 12 days out with concussion and not a lot of match practice, maybe he might need a game in the twos just to get his match fitness up. But you know who's gonna know more than me, and that's Vossi and the coaching staff.
100%.
So
Well, we're gonna enjoy the win. We're gonna see at the end of the week about Elijah Holland and Fogarty, and like what could we line up with and stuff like that. But we're just gonna enjoy the win. Go the boys, Terry! Come on, 4-0. Come on, have a good night, Terry.
Zach.
Up the baggers.
See you, mate. Paulo and Gina.
The Great Escape, you little milk tea. Unbelievable. Give us a little memento. Give us a little memento.
You called it. He called it.
What a bloody fucking win. Chitch, chitch, chitch.
That was a beauty, mate. What a fantastic win. They just know how to do it, don't they? They know how to find a way, these lads. We can't doubt them anymore, can we?
No. 16 of 18.
I know. They just, you know what's good? The midfield was a bit down today, and they've been a bit down all year, but they just keep finding another way to win, and we keep saying that's what the best teams do. That is what the best teams do.
Yeah. You got to add layers. You got to find different ways. Otherwise, you get found out. To be fair to Freo, they probably figured us out for the majority of the game, but we just found a way. We got belief.
Yeah. The way they handled us with the uncontested ball and just slowing it down, and we kind of played into their hands for a little bit. Did you feel? I felt we did. And then once we started I just felt we were just going to wear them down. You knew we were never out of it. I know when Walters kicked that goal, it was a bit. I was like, oh, geez, we've been a bit disappointing today, but geez, they know how to find a way, these boys.
That's all that matters. 4 from 4.
I know. Crazy. I'll tell you what, mate. What about Matty Cottrell? He said, I know people don't come to watch me play, brother. We come to watch you play, mate. Don't worry about that.
What is cordial, man?
We come to watch you play, mate.
Hell, man.
Don't worry about
He's
that.
done it a couple of times.
He
now.
has.
He has.
2 times? He did good against, was it
Sydney.
Sydney, correct.
2020.
Was the free kick to Kennedy for dissent? Is that
yeah,
right?
Dissent. No, Jordan Clark and this. One of them went past the umpire. Talk your shit. Keep talking.
Well, you know what it goes to show? You got to be switched on. You got to be switched on for every minute. And Freo took. They lost their head for like 2 minutes, and they cost themselves.
You know what? And especially with the way the style that they play, like chip, mark, run hard, chip, mark. You've got to be on for the entirety of the game. And you know what? I don't think we're ever going to be that team. And Tommy's always said it. We're never going to be that perfect, 100% all 4 quarter team. We're just going to be what you see is what you get. So we'll fumbly all day and very, very happy with the
Remember what I said at the start of the year? You've got to win these games. Like the ugliest games to watch, but you've got to find a way to win.
Hey, 4 and zip. When's the last time we've been 4 and zip?
95 there.
Last time we've been 4 and zip. 95. I've got a special guest. We're at my sister's engagement tonight, little Madeline and Lewis.
So big congratulations to them. We're all pretty happy. I've got my father here, Big Gino. Dad.
Hey.
Hey, Dad, is the bar open for my supporters tonight? No, bar open for both of them. Pay your own way, you dog. I want a refund, man. I want a refund all my money. Hey, what do you reckon tonight, the Blue Boys? Oh, he was gutsy, he was tough. He was hard. They played like they had hearts as big as themselves. Wave a goodbye. Huh? Wave a goodbye. Arrivederci.
Ciao, ragazzi.
We'll let you go and get stuck into the fair camps. We're going to have a couple of
Amazing.
beers, mate, and away we go. Up the body
Enjoy,
baggers,
lads.
forward and
Up
zip.
the baggers.
We're going to put kids in people tonight. Ciao, mate.
Yeah, bye. See ya. All right. What have I got here? Billy and Yanni. Let's rock and roll. I think you're on mute though.
What's going on, Terry? Can you hear us?
Loud and clear, lads. What's going on?
Nothing much. We've actually been a fan of the show for a while now. When's it been? Like 2020?
Yeah, every year.
So we've been wanting to come on, but we've been putting it off. So we're happy to be making our debut here.
Yeah,
it's good to have you, boys. What did you think of today?
So I think when you see those teams, those premiership teams, they get those wins that don't look good, that aren't the most pretty. And I think that's what we did today. I think even though Fremantle played well, I think we've been in their position many times in the past where we should have won the game. We probably deserved to win it, but we lost because we just didn't have that extra bit of like experience in those in the close games. So I thought the roles have reversed now and we're becoming that more mature side, which I think is good. So I was happy with that.
And what about when Charlie kicked that goal, Terry? How thrilling was that?
The third one?
Yeah.
Oh, mate. You know what? When he kicked it, I mean, when Walters kicked the goal, I thought, all right, maybe we're going to just learn a lesson here. We're going to lose and whatever. And then Charlie takes the mark, and I thought, nah, they'll find a way. They're still believing.
Yeah, still something in it.
Yeah.
In saying that, though, with 5 minutes to go, I wasn't feeling good about it. I know you said the same thing. How were you at 5 minutes before he kicked that goal?
Honestly, my thought was, okay, maybe this is just one of those losses that we'll learn from, and we're going to have to respond next week. Not getting too carried away with it because it's a long season, but the fact that we found a way to win, and then hopefully, that midfield gets a bit of work into it. I don't know what they need. They need a bit of a tune up. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but they've got to figure it out. And so hopefully they can figure it out before next week, because then we're going to get another tough opponent that's going to be even, more hungry than what Freo were today. So, it's good. You want challenges, right?
Yeah. I thought Saad was very good.
Yeah. Who was your 3 or 4 standouts for today?
I would probably put Jordan Boyd up there with Charlie, Cottrell,
and Wieders, surely.
And Wiedering, especially first half Wiedering, taking those marks really helped us because I felt like Mitch McGovern was a bit under pressure with Kemp. Kemp had a good game, but I thought Mitch McGovern was a bit under pressure first half, and Wieders sort of helped him. But it's all looking a lot of depth this year, every position.
Yeah, man. How old are you boys?
I'm 23, and my brother's 20.
Yeah, so you've caught the back end of the bad times, and now we're watching 16 wins from 18 games, mate. So hopefully that means that I think you guys touched on something really important just then. We would have lost those games in the past, and you're starting to see the experience come through.
And it felt like I felt sorry for Fremantle because I felt like that's happened to us so many times. We've been the better team for most of the game, and then they just get away with it at the end. But that's what the best teams do. I hope the clearances and the turnovers even out a bit because you need both. So I know last year's model, although it got us pretty far, we needed to get our turnover game up, but now we've gone too far the other direction. So we need to balance that up. I'm not sure why that is, as you said. It could be just because Freo was very good defensively.
A lot of big bodies in there. Freo, very tough.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, where do you think Matty Kennedy's best position is?
Ironically enough, not the forward line.
Yeah, well, he tries hard. I mean, he's a big body and stuff, but I don't know. It just because we've got a lot of midfielders. So where do we sort of play him? Half forward, maybe? I don't know, but
Yeah,
I just don't
mean,
need to be in the team.
I feel like a bit more midfield minutes would suit his game. I don't mind him as a forward pinch hitting, but I don't think they've figured it out themselves. And then when you get Martin and Motlop and these guys back, I don't know if he's going to. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Jack Martin would have been very good today as well.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait a month and a half before we see him again. But no, we're building nicely.
Yeah. Walsh back in soon to give us some run and some energy as well. We have energy, but Walsh is a superstar of the game. And
I just feel like at those points where we couldn't break down the defense, Walsh would have just been helpful with that, just presenting, getting a few short kicks, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Helps with the spread. You add another 15 kilometers run for a player. So hopefully it's next week.
Yeah, hopefully. And I said last year, actually, Nick Newman had a very good game. He's probably the most underrated player on our team. He doesn't get enough credit. I thought he was very good today.
Yeah.
And he's been good for a long time.
He has been steady for us for a very, very long time. Yeah. Love it. Boys, thanks so much for calling in.
No worries.
Cheers, Terry.
Good speaking to you.
See ya. Okay. David.
Hello, Terry. Hey,
Hello,
great
David.
channel. Yeah. I'm in Thailand, actually.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Just north of Bangkok. It's
fantastic. Yeah. It's a beautiful part of the world there.
Yeah, it's a bit hot at the moment. It gets down to 32 at night, It's yeah, so great game. Really like how we're learning how to win ugly and I think building character and building confidence and building, like a lot of people have commented, building, ability to pull through in the games when it doesn't go our way. And just a couple of stats for you. Who do you think got the most marks on the ground?
Wiedering or Kemp, I feel.
Kemp got 14 marks.
Wow.
So that's I mean, I wasn't able to watch the game, but sounds like he had quite a good game. Yeah, and the most tackles from Carlton was Durden, eight tackles. He got 7 inside 50. So that's and another player I think who did really well from the sound of it was Boyd. Seemed to pop up in those sort of moments when Fremantle were really attacking and there's like it's going inside 50 and Boyd does a spoil or does something and just gets the ball, There's a couple of times the commentators were like, oh, yeah, stop the goal there, So I think his game's really coming on. He's really becoming a valuable member of the team, I think, So great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really appreciate your channel, Terry, and just the community you've got and the professionalism and enthusiasm. I'm a Kiwi, never lived in Australia, but I'm a Carlton fan. I live in Thailand, been here for 20-something years. Yeah, so
How?
it's a bit, well, my brother shifted to went to Melbourne in the 90s, and he was a Carlton fan, back for Carlton then, and so I sort of picked it up from him. And navy blue's just the best colour in the world, and Carlton are the best team. AFL was a fantastic game, and I just really enjoyed following the journey, of the team from the depths of the bad old days. Remember some of your first watching your channel when you were in Israel, and this Aussie guy by the pool kind of pouring his heart out about just the frustration and but awesome. It's really like it's like a soap opera in a way. Just a bit in the reward to see guys like Cripper just starting to reap the rewards and having stuck through. And what a legend, what a legend that guy is. Not just a great player, but he seems like a really good bloke. So really enjoy the content that you provide, and just great to see just different people coming in and younger guys coming in and adding their bit and just some of the analysis and things. I thought Ed had some great points to say earlier on, and just Zach, quite I've got a lot to say. It was awesome, just great. So it's really enjoyable for me. It's just I guess you could say it's not really, it's a hobby. I'm not a lifelong Carlton supporter or anything like that, but I will be for the rest of my life.
That's all that matters,
You
mate.
know? Yeah, the Navy Blues. I think we've got just those players that come through in the real pinch. Like we've got that firepower that can scare the heck out of other teams. Like Cripps can pull out a massive quarter when we turn the game, or Charlie can kick 2-3 quick goals. Was it Kane Corns that said, "Oh, Charlie's not very good with ground balls," and I was just like face palming, like, dude, have you watched Charlie play? Like for a tall forward, he's awesome on ground ball gets and just So we've got those guys, and Harry had a bit of a nightmare, I think, today. But played on when he should have. He should just stop. You're right in the goal square. It's just a gift goal. Played on and dropped the ball. But at the end of the day, it's a learning thing. And if you look at the shots, I think we had 5 more shots on goal than Freo. So we deserve to win.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, the team that wins and takes the 4 points is the team that deserves it.
Yeah.
So we'll take
10,
it.
13 to 9-9. Yeah.
Yeah. 10, 13
So
to 9-9, yeah.
Like other people have said, the media and various people be crying about, this, that, and the other thing. Who cares?
That's right.
Carlton have got nothing to be ashamed about, having been so dire for so long. Carlton fans have got every right to crow and cheer, and when if the dice roll our way and we get a bit of luck and win a game that maybe we shouldn't have won, we've had 20 years of just trash, and being the laughing stock. So now that we're actually winning some games that matter, people can't cope with it. Too bad.
No, look, it's very well said. And mate, really appreciate you calling in. I think this was your first time, so I'd love to
first time.
see a fresh face, and maybe we'll see you again.
Yeah, awesome, great channel, Terry, and just love the content. It's really enjoyable. And
thank you, mate.
You're a professional, really. Love to see your channel get to 25K or something like that. It'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
All in good time. All in good time.
But even better, a flag.
Yes, indeed.
Go Blues.
Go Blues, mate. See ya.
All right. See ya.
What a legend. All right. The Papa Leo family. Here they go. Let's get them in here. Here they are. Wow.
G'day, Terry.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Terry.
Wow. What's up, boys? How are we? I told you I'd get you on.
Go the Baggies. Dirds had a good game.
Our boy Dirds. So for those watching at home, we are co-sponsors of Mr. Corey Durden. These
high pressure tackles.
Absolutely.
Terry, I wanted to say tonight that a bit of a horse racing analogy, but we find the line, right? So I know it's very hard to watch sometimes, but we get there, and that's important. We've got to remember that. There's a lot of white noise. There's going to be a lot of details, and we're going to pick this game apart, but we get there. And I think we really need to remember that and know that the boys are always giving their absolute best, and we're 4-4, baby.
Mate, when's the last? Well, actually, I do know when the last
I know,
time.
yes, we do know. When was that? 1995.
Can you believe it?
Vintage year.
Yeah. Boys.
We are pumped.
Making your debut on the fan cams. Talk to me. How'd you find the game?
Very good. I reckon we were always the better team. Like, really. Like, Freo going into the game, they got the first couple of goals also. And, yeah, I reckon Chera, when he kicked that first goal, was really good. But I just checked before. Williams said he was injured. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it said on the AFL app.
Oh, well, I saw towards the end he grabbed for his hamstring when he was on the ground, but then he made that play in traffic and kicked it forward. So I don't know. Maybe we'll.
I don't think he got subbed, maybe, but.
Sorry?
I don't think he got subbed.
No, Elijah was the sub. He's the one that got hurt. He's the one that did I think it was his groin or his hip. So we'll find out in the next few days. But, I mean, who was your, we know who the best on ground was. What about like an unsung hero? Someone that's hasn't got enough love tonight so far?
Don't say it.
Like Cottrell, come on.
Yeah.
It's got to be Cottrell.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We play as a team, and stronger together rings true every time we play the game, I think. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's I'm very, very proud to be a Carlton supporter. And like I say, I'll say it again, the last time we were 4-4 was 95, and for me, that's very emotional. I remember 95. Some people don't. All the old blokes do, and it's very, very special. Very special.
Does this team have what it takes? You know what a premiership team looks like. Does this team have it?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Lads, party time. We're winning a flag.
Why not? Why not? That's what we're here for, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Very special.
Incredible. What did I think? I thought you know what I thought? I thought that's a game 2, 3, 4 years ago that we lose because we didn't have experience when it mattered in the crunch moments. And I think we're starting to watch our group become that team that is experienced in tight games, and they're learning from their mistakes, even though they still make mistakes. But they've just got this spirit about them. I don't know. There's like a collective belief about them. I love it. And we've won 16 of our last 18, and I think this is the best. This is the best time I've ever had as a supporter. So I'm just trying to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Terry. Good on you, mate.
All right, lads. Good to see you. Thanks for calling in.
Keep up the great work, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Adam, Nicola, it's time.
Cheers. How are you, mate?
Mate.
Oh, man. Voice is a bit shot from the ground. Like, it's just don't know how we did it, to be honest with you.
But sorry, I don't know if you guys went through this already, but the second last goal, so the last 2 minutes, the second last goal, we were all sitting there cheering, doing the drums, chanting and everything. Within a second, we get another goal. What happened?
Kennedy's one. What happened there?
Like, what? How did Kennedy get? Like, we were still chanting. Like, we turn around and they're like, "Hold on, wait, another goal."
I'll be honest. I was watching it at home, and I still don't quite know. But what happened was one of them, I don't know who it was. One of the Freo players, it was Dissent. So he's obviously had a crack at the umpire. Probably called him something, and he's given away a free
Which
kick.
he probably deserved. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, the commentators were saying that it was going to be a free kick in the middle of the ground instead of a ball up. So I'm like, oh, okay, we'll get the ball, ice the clock. And then it ended up being a free kick right in front of goal, and it was to Kennedy.
But it ended up being, was it a 50?
No.
Must have been.
No?
Because he was right there.
Well, in the middle must have been a 50 to get in front of goals.
You know what? Maybe it was, because I thought the commentators were saying, and maybe they didn't know, but the commentators definitely said it's going to be a free kick from the center square. And maybe it was a 50. I don't know. End of the day, It was
End of
Dissent.
the day, we'll take it. I don't talk about the umpires because they give me a headache every week and they'll shoot us again.
Yep.
We finally broke the hoodoo, the Adelaide over hoodoo. Another hoodoo we break again. So we'll take that, get the 4 points. Sometimes you just gotta, find the way to win. You know what I mean? So it's every week they seem to do it to us. In my heart, I don't know how much I can take anymore. Outside the stadium, they've got the Shane Warne Foundation, the system. I was thinking to give it a crack. Don't know how.
No, forget it. We wouldn't pass. I would say go to the hospital. Jesus.
But you always just find a way, and Cottrell, mate. When the moment's there, just drills and always again, very important goal. It was a bit of a weird decision, I thought, putting him as a sub. After kicking obviously 3 goals, maybe they wanted a bit of speed, so that's why they obviously opted for Durden to begin the game. But came on, pressure, goal. When the moment's there to be obviously taken, they've done it. So yeah, we go again.
Absolutely. You guys are there, right? You guys are in Adelaide?
Yeah.
It was insane buzz, like huge squad again with obviously Nick, Mish, Jovan. It's just out of control.
Don't forget the Godfather.
Oh, the Godfather. So I'll give it. Shout out to the Godfather.
Shout out to the Godfather.
Yeah, no, it's just a real good buzz. Bit of a weird one. Obviously having, neutral supporters there and, Adelaide Crows, top support, Pops, Collingwood, every single
It was
team
weird.
pretty much.
And you guys probably couldn't see it from the TV, because behind us, there was all a big grass area, and it was pretty much everyone that's not really the supporters, from the two.
They're chugging down beers.
Very disrespectful supporters, whether they were Collingwood, whether they were Hawthorn, whoever was back there, and it was during the game, you can hear them screaming and doing their own thing, and we're sitting there, we're like, Watch the game.
There's 4 points on the line here, and they're just drinking beers, but whatever,
I think Freo have got some lessons to learn all around. So maybe they can just cope a little harder next time.
Yeah, look. Obviously, credit to Freo. They played their game. Ryan was just doing my head in. Playing that loose man, just getting the ball and
They outmanned us. Like they were on it. They were really on it.
Even Fife probably turned back the clock a bit. I'm like, is anyone going to get on him? And I think Hewitt went to him in the last quarter, and I think nullified him a bit. So they weren't getting the easy ball out, and clearances they just smashed us. But last quarter we boys got to work and just probably got just territory, just got the ball forward, even if it was kicked off the ground, side and so forth, and found a way to win. And we play the Crows next week. Possible Sam Walsh, probably 90% ready to go. I reckon. I reckon straight in for Elijah. I just want to mention Kemp.
Yeah, I was going to say Kemp too.
His body work, and he's still obviously fairly new as well. Unbelievable. And Marchbank, even if he's ready to go, I think let him have another week off. Kemp, and I wouldn't make too many changes. I know we had some players that did have an off game, but just give him another crack, and I wouldn't make too many changes to honest, Terry. What do you reckon?
I think you're right. I think Marchbank needs a bit of touch. If Walsh is ready, bring him in for Hollands. Otherwise, keep the team as it was. Yeah, see what happens with Fogarty.
Yeah, well, how did that really look? Because I saw on the replay, it's obviously not a good look. When Fife got straight back up and he wasn't concussed or anything like that.
I think that'll work in his favour.
It wasn't intentional, I don't believe, the way it looked.
No.
I know.
It was probably a little bit clumsy or careless. Clumsy, but it wasn't.
Eyes for the footy.
Pardon?
Eyes for the footy. He didn't take his eyes off the footy or anything like that.
There was a brief split second where he took his eyes off, but he sort of reached out to spoil the ball and just sort of clipped him on his chest, and it came up to his neck. So, thankfully, Fife wasn't hurt. I think if Fife was injured, then would have been
okay. Hopefully he's all right, but
we're gonna let you go because we've got to go celebrate with the cheer squad.
Go for it, guys. Take it easy. Go Baggers. See ya.
Mate.
All right. Got a few more in the waiting room, but before that, listen here, Big Waff. Firstly, what are you doing here? You don't need to be here. No one's asking you to be here. I've given Freo nothing but respect. I have nothing to say to this comment other than as we move on. I had to. I'm sorry. Sam.
Love it, Tez. Love it. I'm a bit like the others.
Yeah.
I was at the game as well, so my voice is a bit shot, but it's as Adelaide local, it's special. It felt like a home game almost. We used to having to put up with Port and Adelaide over here giving it to us and being such a hostile space. But no, it was good. I was loving it.
Yeah, well, mate, it's been a while since no one's watched a win at Adelaide Oval for Carlton, so that's a good that's a good memory for you now that'll sit there forever.
Oh, no, amazing. We were losing it a bit, high fiving people, hugging strangers. It's a good vibe.
Yeah. What'd you make of the game? What were some of your thoughts generally?
Yeah, it felt like a nearly match. That we just, we get it inside 50, but it just couldn't quite get it together. Obviously, H plays on there, those kind of moments. But I just think we've got that belief that I was like, if we stay close enough here, if we hang in, they didn't kind of get far enough in front that I'm like, we can do it here. We can pull something out. And then once we got that first goal back to a couple of points, I think it was 63-61, then I'm like, we're a chance here. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we were never out of it, and I think that's just different, having that grit. That's something over that last year or so that the team's really built on.
Yeah. No, and we have to learn to win like that too, because not everything's going to be on our terms the way we want it. I think everyone
absolutely
understands that,
Yeah, very happy to be banking these wins early on and not doing it the hard way like last year. I mean, still a long time to go, but it feels good to win ugly, get those points. I feel a bit like you, Tez. I'm turning 30 this year. It's the best period for me that I've seen. My old man, he talks about the glory days, but I can't really relate to it. But starting to see it, and it's that community, and it just feels different to be a Carlton supporter. Just people who don't quite understand. It's if you're not one, they don't know what you're talking about. But it's just this community and this love, and yeah, it's crazy.
It's so good. It's special. I don't quite understand it yet. I know that it's real. I know that it's intangible and it exists. Haven't been able to make sense of what it is just yet, but yeah, we're very blessed to be a part of and supporting this club, because it's taken over, mate. We're watching it. I'm pretty sure we're watching the takeover again.
I hope so. And we love your work. You and Pom, my partner, and I, we look forward to seeing you each week, and love it when jump on. It's almost funny seeing Pom happy. No fist bang on the table or anything like that from kind of last year when we had gather around here when the Crows touched us up. Remember that one? So good to put that to bed and get the win and get the hoodoo out the way.
Absolutely, mate. Well, good times ahead. Thanks for calling in.
Have a good one.
Enjoy.
See you, Ted.
All right. See you, mate. All right. I've got Lucinda, Tyler, Josh, Ball of Truth, and then we're going to end with Mark, who's going to make his return. Very exciting. Lucinda, let's talk.
Hello. I'm actually at a 40th right now, so I'm being very naughty, but I don't mind. They don't mind either.
Love the commitment. Love the commitment.
Yeah. So obviously I was more commenting without audio with the watch along, but I knew enough of the AFL app scoring and like the poor internet results, and I'm like, okay, what is everyone going on about? It's 12 points. What are you going to do if it was in reverse? Be celebrating already? Like, there's two ways you can look at it. On the one hand, Freo didn't make, advantage of their, efforts, and or we voided them any chance we got, and or even with our, off day mistakes, well, we were in it and there was like not even a kick on average all the way through, which obviously when you get to not saying that this wasn't a tough match, but the really tough ones that will, like, obviously they'll give them a lot of confidence, because they're like, okay, we can have, an off day. Harry might unintentionally give the media a field week or whatever, and we still do that, So basically what I took from it was the last dying minutes. I mean, obviously Charlie gets the behind and then he makes up for it in a few seconds, and then we get the icing goal, as I nickname it. Obviously we would like to have won by a lot more, but we've never won at AO no matter who we play. So that's a big enough, testament to how much according to the other fans at AFL love us, and or the umpires love us. That's kind of like a statistical country. So they can say we were assisted, but I think listening to the other fan cams, they said that quite a lot of Freo's achievements were assisted. But I don't like to take it away from a team and make it about that. But I'm just thinking, if Carlton can have a what is going on wrong day and stay in it 100% and then just get over the line, well, what is a very, very good day then? Like people were saying last week was boring. Well, how was that then? Like the watch along, someone said we are putrid, and I think I said something along the lines of, well, when we win, I'll remind you of that. That was my only cheeky moment. And so here we are. Regarding next week, I think we will regroup and still win that. It can be tight. It doesn't really have to be a thrashing. But I think I said at the end of 2023, finals footy is going to be decided by a kick. If Carlton wants to have a whole season like practice of like finals nail biters, well, we won't appreciate the heart attacks, but we'll, survive them. So whatever works. Like someone says, okay, it's ugly to win this way. It's like a win's a win. Okay. I was like never in doubt. But even then, with like the final 2 minutes and the internet not working on the final 40 seconds, I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's going on here? And then I just ended up putting ABC Grandstand on because the score in the actual app wasn't doing anything. And then I'm like, okay, so we've got Kennedy's goal. And then it was like finally 20 seconds and you hear the song and you're like, well, you know what? We kind of deserved it, because if we, weren't our best and, we punished Freo for not thrashing us with, what they could have alternatively done, that makes us worthy winners regardless. And then we just, we didn't get lucky. We worked very hard and, those guys lifted and we're very lucky. And now baby Crips will know what happened, the week she was born. So that's great.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take the 4 points. See you all. You'll be at the game next week?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Have a good day.
See ya. Tyler, it's time.
It is time, Terry. It's the year of the blue, Terry. Come on, mate.
I know, mate. I know.
It's fine. I think it's finally happening. I think the switch has been clicked, and this is it. This team is ready to go. I think it's finally. I can't believe it.
We have sat through and been Fremantle for a long time in the way that they were gallant. Mate, Freo were awesome today. They were
they
were
were
bloody awesome today, and they'll be stinging. And that's the type of sting that we felt for a while. And now we're just watching our guys step up in the most critical moments and then almost find confidence in tight games now, which is
100%, Terry. 100%. And just to add on that point, like what you said about we were in that position like with Freo, we actually were. And no offense to Bolton, but under Bolton, we were playing like that. We were playing the high defence and very slow, methodical plays. Like we were not fast and anything like that. Very different now. And it was very interesting to see how Fremantle sort of like deciphered how to beat us in a sense, because they were on top of the majority of the game. Like they took away our contested ball, they took away our clearances, and yet we still managed to find a way. Now that's what this Carlton team has to do. It doesn't matter. It should not matter whether you're probably 10 points down or you're 10 points up. You should always play out to the very end. 100%.
Spot on.
And,
You got to be on.
Yeah, you do. You 100% you do. And I was last year. I said this to Pom in the just after we lost to Brisbane. I said, you look at, like, for example, Collingwood last year, all these little tight games and all of that, it doesn't matter. They still won in the end, and they still managed to get top 4, and they still managed to go all the way to a grand final. It should be no different for us. Should be no different. I reckon, in all honesty, we will play in the grand final this year. It's looking like it, Terry. If we continue fielding this team and the way we've been playing, like, yes, at times it hasn't been pretty football. I don't care about pretty footy. I just want to win. I just want us to win.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, we have missed Wiedering so much. I think
it was a good reminder why he's the. I think it's a good reminder why he's the most valuable in the team. And as a defender, it's hard to be that. It's hard to say that for your defender, but he clearly is.
He's the backbone of that. He is the missing piece. In all honesty, without Wiedering, I reckon in all honesty, we would have capitulated. We would have capitulated. But you were talking about throughout the fan cams about, like, why isn't our midfield firing and all of that. I think it's, in all honesty, they're trying. I think they're trying something new. Like, you think about it, like when we lost Doherty, and then the fact that we've had to play Carroll. Carroll's been really good. I'm not denying that he hasn't been, but you've taken Kennedy out. He's in the forward line and all of that. I think they're trying to add a little bit more speed and a bit more pizzazz into that midfield. And I think as well, I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of weeks that you see the likes of Jackson Binns coming in and all of that. I think they need to get some game time into them. But I don't know. I think it's literally, as has been pointed out, you add Pito in, we're very slow. You add Tom De Koning in, yes, okay, we don't win the clearance, but then again, we have a little bit more speed around the ground. I reckon it's a very tight balance. It's a very tight balance how we're going to do it, because if you think about it, you take Pito out, who have you got? You don't have Murkov because he's injured. You have no choice but to play De Koning in the ruck. And I reckon if you switch between TDK and Harry in the ruck, you might actually might do something. But I think De Koning, in all honesty, had a really good game. Like the first half, okay, he was getting beaten. He was clearly getting beaten. But I think what he matured at the end is that he doesn't need to jump at every ball. I think, in all honesty,
he's starting to do the thing that Cruiser did, and that's not jump at the ball, let the opposing ruckman jump, and then just
go. Yeah. And I think that was when the game sort of turned a little bit. And even like the way also that Hewitt played in the end, how they moved him behind the ball a little bit for that quick exit handball. I think that's just how we're gonna mix this midfield up a little bit, so that if we're missing key players like Walsh and all of that, if you just minor tweaks like that, we should be fine with it. But I think the addition of Walsh will add a little bit more pizzazz in that midfield, and that extra, as you said, that extra 15k run. And I reckon we'll run out teams then, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I look forward to it, mate. That's what I do. I just love what's going on right now, and I think we all are. We're all enjoying this. This is, mate. We sat here crying, screaming for years, saying like, when are we going to watch a good Carlton team? Are we going to watch a good Carlton team? And they're here. This is them.
Well, that's true. And then just very quickly, like you look at the win record under Voss. I don't know what he's done. He's brought something just out of him. Like he's done. His win record, I would say, is better than Ratton's as well. So I don't know. I think it's just a different coaching dynamic. The boys have matured. You can see who's matured and who's playing well. And I'm just looking forward to even the next crop to come in as well, like Ashton Moyer, even Billy Williams, all little Billy, all of these new recruits. I reckon they're going to fit really well into this club, and I cannot wait for the future. This is the year, Terry. I just got this feeling. It's the year. We've got something. We got something.
No, absolutely. Good stuff, Tyler. Thanks for calling in, mate.
No worries, Terry. Good on you, mate.
See ya. I've got Michael Cheravolo here, who's sent through 1,000 yuan on my honeymoon in Japan. 2 Blues wins. Doesn't get much better. Up the fucking baggers. Incredible. Congratulations on the wedding. And I hope you're having a great honeymoon. Josh.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. Just win.
Mate.
That's all that matters.
I know, mate. Are you going to watch the replay? I honestly don't know if I can put myself through that again. Like, I'm already sick, and that game just elevated my headache like 100 times, I reckon.
That was, I mean, listen, we are Carlton. It's always going to be full of stress, anxiety, and especially against teams like that. Freo, Adelaide next week will do the exact same thing. They will be hunting us. We are more and more starting to watch us become hunted. And if we win the premiership, inshallah, then it's going to get even worse.
Ooh, premiership. I reckon it's possible this year, mate. But look, that game.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah, well, we're still in April. It's just Easter, Greek Easter, in a month for you guys. But Far out, man. I thought we just like in that first, maybe even throughout the game until the last 2 minutes, we just lacked composure. Like, did you notice that there was errors that were made that you just never, like, I hadn't seen from our team in a while, like players playing on when usually we would go back and take a bit of time. Like, did you notice that? Was that just me?
It's still a little bit there. I mean, the one where Harry plays on, it's like you just got to iron that out. You just, because we're like 85% there, and there's still some things to iron out. We're not the finished product. I think we all can see that, and I think that's why that makes these wins good, because we're not the finished product. And touch wood, we haven't suffered a loss yet, but a loss is coming. I mean, the competition is way too tight. Yeah, it's way too tight of a competition for you not to get a loss every now and again. So I feel like I felt like it was going to be today when there was 4 minutes 44 seconds to go and Walters has kicked the goal. I thought, okay, well, this is that game,
It definitely looked like it for a while, but like, I mean, people can talk about umpiring, whatever. We won. That's all that matters.
Mate,
we got the 4 points.
They can talk about umpiring all they like, because
Yeah.
Freo got some good free kicks today as well. I think, what was it? It was free kicks. Oh, it was 16 to 12. I thought the umpires put the whistle away. Last week we had 34 free kicks just to Carlton. So we had 12 today, and they had 16, 38 free kicks in an entire game. I thought that's what I want to see. I don't want to see umpiring, too many umpiring decisions.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Bro, 4-0. Like, this is the start that we all wanted. We banked. Like, I mean, you talk early. Brisbane, like, a lot of people wrote that off. Richmond, no Wiedering. Last week was great. And then this, so 4-0, we're not even playing our best footy. Walsh is yet to come back. Also, Wiedering, he spent like 100 minutes, like
100% game time. Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah.
He was the only player on the field to spend every minute on the field. That is incredible.
Yeah, he held up our back line. Like, Kempy was good in moments, but like, Weeders, like, he's the bloke you want out there, like, screaming out instructions, yelling, pointing. Like, he's that bloke that you want out there. So I think, I mean, Boydie also had a good game. I think our whole back line, like, stood up, like, well, because we went under the pump most of that game. We're getting hammered in the midfield. Obviously, getting hammered in the midfield means that our defenders are going to get hammered, and for them to only score the 61 points that they did, our midfield really stood up. And I guess when our 2 minutes came, which happened to be at the end of the game, we got the 4 points and we walk away from the Adelaide Oval, finally breaking that fucking hoodoo. But let's go, baby. We're back. This is really exciting. And I'm just looking forward to I haven't been to the footy since round 1. So I reckon next week Adelaide will be hungry. They're looking for a win. They've always been a bit of our bogey side. I mean, but it doesn't fucking matter. Just win, baby. Just win, baby.
Amazing. Good on you, Josh. I'll speak to you soon. I think we've lost you. All right.
See you, bro.
See you, mate. Here he is, the ball of truth.
Yeah, Suri, how are you?
I'm good. I like that there's a little bit more navy blue than what there is Manchester United red in the background.
Yeah, I'll cover that shit, man. Don't even get me started. Jesus Christ. How you going, man?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
How do you feel?
Yeah, it's the best, mate. Just enjoying it. Honestly, like to win close games. We've won a good more than half a dozen close games recently in the last, dozen that we've played. So we're learning. We're watching the boys become men, as humans, and as footballers as well. They're getting better, and they seem to be learning from their mistakes while still making mistakes. But the tide's turning, man. This is a good time.
100%, brother. Like a few seasons ago, there's no way we win that game, man. No chance.
No.
Speaking of, I reckon, for real, man, I reckon I might book myself in to get like blood tests, ECGs, 50 Cent on the treadmill in the club, like hook wires up to me and shit. Fuck, man, my heart, it's popping out of my chest every week. crazy.
That's how you know you're alive, though. You know.
Yeah,
People go through
100%.
life not feeling that.
Yeah. Well, we live vicariously through the Blues, man.
Mhm.
Our lives are just. This is all it is now.
This is us
for
man.
6 months of the year. But it's scary. Like, it's scary to dream of what the potential is. Like, I want to talk about it, but I'm scared, man, about
Yeah.
where we can go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to keep it a lid on, but fuck, man, the belief of this team. Like, we weren't great today. Freo were great. Like, they're not the prettiest the way they did it, but man, we stuck in there. We hung in there until I thought it was over when Always got caught holding the ball with a couple of minutes to go. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
In the forward 50.
I loved his pressure, and then I mean he's trying to make a play. Like whatever,
Yeah.
like, it is what it is. But
Yeah, man.
I think when Charlie took that mark when we were down 2 goals, I thought, oh my god, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
It was just a
Is that
magic
the one he
moment.
missed?
And the one he kicked at the end.
Oh, the one he kicked, yeah, with the one
Yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, man. It's crazy.
So-
We just don't give up.
That's half the battle, man. You got to have a little bit of guts about you in this league.
Definitely,
So,
man.
yeah.
I loved Zach Williams. He's getting more confidence in his body. You can tell
Mhm.
he's starting to
Mhm.
move better. Freaking love that, man. It's
Yeah.
good to see.
Even initially when Boyd came to us, I didn't know much about him. Every
Yeah.
time I watch him play, he does something, and I say to myself, "Wow, like he's getting better." Like I really like what he has to offer.
So confident.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'll take it on. Like I want the responsibility.
But he
I love
makes
that about him.
decisions quickly, and then he goes for it, takes the kick straight away. Doesn't mess about with it. We probably got held up a lot today, but he was
Yeah.
one of the few that when he had the ball and had to make a decision of what he was going to do, he did it quickly, and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Who stood out for you the most, do you reckon, tonight? Who like surprised you?
Surprised me. I was
Yeah.
surprised to see how much Kemp impacted.
Yeah.
First game back. Like I know he's
Yeah.
got it in him, but I was surprised to see how high a level he played tonight. I thought he would
Yeah.
just come in, play a role, just try and do the team things, which he still did. But
Yeah.
And then I think Cottrell down on
Oh.
possessions last week, and then that's
Missed
just
the clutch.
yeah, that's right. He's got it in his veins,
He's
mate.
got it.
Yeah.
I think I'm glad you mentioned Kemp, man, because I reckon like he had a few nervous moments here and there, and he got the drag in the last quarter as well, holding the ball. But his last quarter, I thought that was his best quarter, besides that little moment. But fuck, it's so exciting, man.
Good man.
I can't contain the fits.
Yeah. Mate, don't contain the fits. Enjoy it. Nah.
100%, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I love
man.
it.
Well,
All right,
I'll
man.
leave you to it, bro.
All right, man. You enjoy.
Thank you, man. Have a good
All
night.
right. You too. See ya.
See you, man. Bye.
All right. Well, time for the return. It's been a very long time since we saw this gentleman. Let's get him back in. Mark, welcome back to the fan cams.
Mate, obviously that semi-final win with Melbourne last year was obviously the best experience for our generation. But for a round 4 game, we hadn't won at this ground at the Adelaide Oval. It was our Fox River St. Quentin prison, literally a prison, and we finally broke it. And to be there, drove again, this time with my mum and auntie, which they're out in the moment, and I'm just in the hotel, but I'll be there after because I want to make sure I don't have bad reception. So if I can quickly maybe just, a little turn, if it's possible, can you sort of see? You've got the window.
Oh, that's a beautiful view.
Terry, I'm telling you right now, man, sometimes you got to fork it in order to experience it. So, obviously I was at the ground. I know with the reception it would have been a bit hard, but I'm here now, and I could have done it on there, but I'm here now, and yeah, mate, it was great. It was great. I think everybody's actually summed it up beautifully. Before I get on to my big say, a couple of shout outs. I got to see Ari last night. Funny enough, obviously he's been the stats man, but I've got some stats and facts for later. And also just for the new people that have come on as well to put their face on. And have their own views. It's been great. You know, this is what it's basically been all about. You know, it's obviously good to obviously have so many people have their own views and what they think about obviously the game today and obviously in years past and the club and everything all led up to it. So, I mean, I'm just wrapped. I'm seriously wrapped. Honestly, who did you think were your better players today? Sorry, man, I'm seriously out of words because
No, you're right.
We fucking needed it. We fucking just needed it
did.
badly.
Yeah, well, I think, to answer your question, I think I'm going to give player of the game to Wiedering, and then I think I'm probably going to give doing a bit to Sard. Oh, no, De Koning was good. De Koning was real good,
Brody
especially
Kemp.
going into the game. Yeah, Kempy was awesome. I've got to think about doing a bit, but I think Wiedering was the best player on the ground and the most important player on the ground. But I think also, I mean, you know, you were, interestingly enough, the first fan cams video on this channel, for those who don't know that. So, you know, you've come on, we were yelling and screaming in 2019, 2021, 22. You know, we watched the dark days just continue. We all asked, like, when is it going to end? Now we're watching 16 of 18 wins. Like, mate, this is it. They're doing it.
I mean, I told you in every friendship and relationship, you're going to have some of those times where, you know, you'll say things and, yep, it felt hurtful. And then obviously, you know, you feel like it might end. But sometimes that's part of every friendship and relationship. You go through the good, you go through the bad. But deep down, the loyalty will always remain. And we know it happens. But we always remember who was there from the dark days to when obviously the light then shines in all of us. So for that, it's just good to see, you know. The fact that, well, the two facts and stats I was just going to quickly make, and then I'll have my other quick thought. Well, obviously, you know, North Melbourne, last time we bet them 3 times in a row, and that margin of 56 points. We all know what happened. And obviously the biggest one today, finally winning at the Adelaide Oval to start the season 4-0. And we all know what happened there. So the stars are aligning and entwining all together for that bigger picture. Can it happen to fruition? Who knows? But the history does not lie as far as how we started a season and where it led to. And we've got that feeling. I actually remembered, just equivocally enough, had obviously not just my family, but mates back at home when we were watching the Brisbane Carlton game, of course, which I came up with 2 reasons. One, it was going to obviously be, if we'd lost, would it be the same as 2023? Or could we make that little bit of a step? Bit of a yes or no. If obviously we beat Brisbane, we can win the whole thing and finish on top. Funny enough, if this pays off, this could be basically my double working wage for the year. That's how big this is. I've got us finishing on top with Charlie Curnow winning the Coleman. And funny enough, for Tom Green, Brownlow, and Riley Sanders rising star. But that's for another catch. But anyways, if it all comes to fruition, I just think, well, it's the Brisbane game. That's the reason why we can dare to dream. And today, for the Adelaide supporters of Carlton, and everyone that obviously flew or drove, I drove again. This is the beginning of something special. I do believe this is our year. Some will think, look, who knows? But I think if you don't sell the message now, you never will. We know it's a long marathon, but we all know that, hey, if this was the Collingwood game of 2022, we lose that. The Melbourne game in that second last round of 22, it's a different side altogether. Definitely played poorly today. I mean, probably a couple of examples, actually. I believe it might have been Sean and Clark. He kicked it in deep. We're up by about, 3 points at the time. If in doubt, punch the ball for a point. And what happens? Jeremy Sharp, who literally, blokes like him and Emmett, who kicked a couple of goals, we have a habit of letting teams of unknown players just have a field day and then you don't see them again for the rest of your life. And then when they hit the front from there, to then obviously Walters, you really thought this is really deep as to can we find a way? And we somehow did.
That's right.
Because those Adelaide Oval Demons were obviously coming back to haunt us, but it's just great that the character and the grit, the edge, that's the real edge, not like those freaking pesky red and black supporters. We don't have to talk about it. We do it. We deliver it.
Do it on the scoreboard, indeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Oh man.
Lovely, mate. Well, it's good to hear from you again, and hope you enjoy your night. And we'll see you at some other time.
Till then, keep everyone on board with obviously, new people and all that. And mate, I'm obviously willing to let the others take over, and let's just keep this train rolling, mate. Let's believe.
Absolutely, mate. Go Blues.
Go the Blues.
See you, mate. All right. Wow, just like that. Time literally just goes doing that. That's nearly 2 hours. Got a few people who have bought some pins. So thank you very much to Naomi, Damien, Analia, Trudy, Nick, and Matthew. Oh, there's more. Hang on. There's one more. And Bernard. Thank you very, very much. So what we want is for them to sit on your scarf like that. So link is in the top of the live chat. It's pinned there. So be sure to get yours, because I don't know. I mean, they're $17, and if we win the flag this year, they go to $18. So you want to save on that, because they're going to be 18 buckaroonies next year. But no, it's awesome. Thank you very much. Also, we got a new member here, Chris Armstrong, Damo, 6-month member. It's got bleeding fingernails. And yeah, thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Got to watch the replay tomorrow. I think the replay is going to be fine. I don't think we played as badly as what we might feel right now. I think when we watch the replay, knowing that we won the game, we'll see a fierce Fremantle who took it up to us, just like we thought they would, to be fair. I'm looking at it now. Carlton laid 80 tackles. That's quintessential Carlton football right there. I think it might have been over 45 in the second half. So we will analyze it nonetheless. But I love it. I also love, can I just say, I really enjoyed the Fremantle response. I mean, I obviously haven't been on social media during the fan cams, but I'm looking forward to catching up with all the salt. And in actual fact, I might just have a drink of some Fremantle tears right here. Oof. Yeah, that is salty. Anyway, have a good night, guys. It's been awesome. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow for the review. Go Blues.